Hello and welcome to NDTV 24/7. I'm Priyanshi Sharma and our top stories of today. There was a street battle in Kolkata in West Bengal. There were clashes in the city as the BJP staged huge protests over alleged corruption by the ruling Trinamool Congress government. The police used water cannons and tear gas to stop the protesters, who were later dispersed. Several BJP leaders in West Bengal, including the leader of opposition, Suvendu Adhikari, were detained by the police. And on the other side, on camera, protesters were seen setting a police vehicle on fire. NDTV's Saurabh Shukla tells us all that happened in this report.
Water cannons fired by the police here, and now across the police lane in a lathi charge as the BJP protesters gather. So the police force now embarking on a lathi charge after firing water cannons. This is of course in the Howrah Bridge area of Kolkata, where you can see the police have set up barricades. Water cannons, tear gas, lathi charge as BJP workers tried to cross the Howrah Bridge. The police using force after multiple announcements asking BJP workers, led by Dilip Ghosh and Darjeeling MP Raju Bista, not to proceed towards the state secretariat. The BJP's march to Nabanno movement being led by leaders like Dilip Ghosh. Also in the pictures you can see Darjeeling MP Raju Bista, who's also joining this march. At this point, the march is progressing along Harrison Road. Now, the police say they will not be allowed to go up to Nabanno, which is the state secretariat. The BJP is adamant on marching right up to Nabanno. As the police dispersed the protesters, some angry BJP workers carrying flags headed back towards the road they had marched on a little while earlier and set a car on fire. So incidents of arson during the BJP protest in Kolkata. A police car set on fire and completely burnt, as you can see. Smoke still coming out of parts, and you can see the water is still spraying to stop the car from burning further. Leaders like Suvendu Adhikari and Lokit Chatterjee were detained early in the day as they tried to get to Nabanno, the state secretariat.
Don't touch my body, no!
The Trinamool Congress in cashing on this exchange of Suvendu Adhikari with a policewoman.
Don't touch my body, you are lady, you are ma, don't touch my body.
Earlier in the day, the police had announced diversions and blocked both bridges over the river Hooghly, leading to massive traffic jams across the city. The Trinamool alleged the protesters were brought in from outside the state.
যে কজনকে নিয়ে এসেছে বিহার ইউপি টিউপি থেকে জোগাড় করে কিছু দুষ্কৃতী নিয়ে এসেছে আর কর্মীহীন একটা পার্টি শুধু কিছু এজেন্সির দ্বারা আর আপনাদের প্রচার যন্ত্রের দ্বারা একটা পার্টি বেঁচে আছে।
টিয়ার গ্যাস ছুঁড়েছে, লাঠি চালিয়েছে, ইট পাথরও মেরেছে। তা আমরা বলেই দিয়েছিলাম কর্মীদের কোনো উত্তেজনা করবেন না, প্রতিক্রিয়া করবেন না। শান্তিপূর্ণভাবে তারা এসেছিলেন এবং শান্তিপূর্ণভাবে অবস্থান করেছেন, আন্দোলন করেছেন। পুলিশের সঙ্গে তারা ঝগড়াও করেননি। এই অবধি এসেছি আমরা, পুলিশ যতদূর আসতে দিয়েছে এরপরে এখান থেকে আমরা স্থগিত করে দিচ্ছি।
In Kolkata with camera person GD Shankar, Saurabh Gupta, NDTV.
And a cop was also assaulted during the BJP protests in Kolkata as there was a clash between the police and the BJP protesters. The cop also suffered injuries and even a fracture in his hand as he was assaulted, as you can see in that video, by the protesters in Kolkata. Now moving to Bihar, where two people riding on a bike fired indiscriminately on a national highway in Begusarai. At least one person has died, while 8 others have been injured in this incident. There was open firing at different locations by the two people who were riding a bike. Let's listen in to what the police said.
जिन लोगों को गोली लगी है उन सबका पता किया गया है, तो इसमें टोटल 9 लोग हैं जिनको गोली लगी है। सभी का इलाज कराया जा रहा है, सभी खतरे से बाहर हैं। एक व्यक्ति है जिसका नाम चंदन था, जो कि फुलवरिया थाना बरौनी थाना का रहने वाला था, उसकी डेथ हुई है और उसकी बॉडी का पोस्टमार्टम इंक्वेस्ट कराया जा रहा है। जो फुटेज हम लोग को अभी तक मिले हैं, हम लोग ने 3 टीमें बना के फुटेज का हम लोग एनालिसिस करवा रहे हैं और मैं भी उसी क्रम में फील्ड में निकला हुआ हूँ। तो फुटेज में हम लोग को एक मोटरसाइकिल पे 2 अपराधी की उसमें देखते हुए मिले हैं, लेकिन इनकी जो पहचान है वो अभी हम लोग करवा रहे हैं और हमारे जो पड़ोस के जिले हैं हमने उनको भी अलर्ट कर दिया है, उनसे भी सूचना मांगी है।
And after a day of high drama in Ahmedabad over Aam Aadmi Party convener Arvind Kejriwal's auto rickshaw ride, the Delhi Chief Minister requested Gujarat police to refuse BJP's orders to commit wrong actions. He tweeted saying that it's my request to Gujarat police. I have supported you on grade pay and all other issues. We will implement after forming the government. We are with you. Just 2 months are left. If those in the BJP ask you to commit wrong acts, refuse. BJP is on its way out and the Aam Aadmi Party is coming. That's what the Delhi Chief Minister tweeted in Hindi.
भाजपा के जो नेता है उनका बार बार यह कहना है कि गुजरात और नर्मदा विरोधी मेघा पाटकर को सीएम के चेहरे के तौर पर प्रोजेक्ट किया जा रहा है, क्या कहेंगे?
मैंने सुना है कि मोदी जी के बाद वो सोनिया गांधी को पीएम कैंडिडेट बना रहे हैं भाजपा वाले। उस पे उनसे पूछना क्या कहेंगे वो। मेरे प्रश्न को पूछना, उनसे हिम्मत करना थोड़ी सी आप। मैं जानता हूं कि डर लगेगा आपको। अगली प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में उनसे पूछना कि केजरीवाल ने आरोप लगाया है कि आप मोदी जी का सक्सेसर सोनिया गांधी जी को नेशनल लेवल पे पीएम कैंडिडेट बनाने जा रहे हैं, उनका उस पर क्या कहना है। दूसरा क्वेश्चन, हम सारी सीटों पे चुनाव लड़ेंगे।
Home Minister Amit Shah took a swipe at Aam Aadmi Party chief Arvind Kejriwal as the Delhi Chief Minister continues his campaign to strengthen the Aam Aadmi Party in Gujarat, where the BJP is in power and where, of course, it's the stronghold of Prime Minister Modi. The Gujarat elections are due later this year, and those doing the business of dreams will not succeed in Gujarat. That's what the Home Minister said at an event in Delhi, targeting the Aam Aadmi Party and the Delhi Chief Minister.
સપનાઓના વેપાર કરવાવાળાઓને સફળતા ગુજરાતમાં ના મળે.
Now to Assam, where the opposition parties in Assam have trained their guns against the state government over the arrest of Victor Das last week. This after his sensational tweet that went viral alleging a cash for job scam in the recently held government recruitment exam for grade 3 and grade 4. While Das was arrested by Assam police under stringent sections of the IPC, including charges of criminal conspiracy, extortion, rumour mongering, offence at a place of worship and inciting communal violence, his family, legal experts and opposition parties are claiming that the Assam government is trying to target the messenger. NDTV's Ratnadeep Chaudhary sent us this report.
Last weekend, these tweets of Victor Das, who teaches at a government school and runs a coaching center, went viral. In recent Assam government recruitment exams, which were taken by lakhs and held under unprecedented security, including Section 144 outside exam centers and a mobile internet ban. Strangely, it is the whistleblower who is now in custody.
যিখিনি তেখেতে কথা কৈছিলে গোটেইখিনি আমি সালিজাৰি চাই তন্নতন্নকে পৰীক্ষা কৰি চাই দেখা পালো যে প্ৰত্যেকটো তথ্যই প্ৰত্যেকটো কথাই মিছাৰ ওপৰত প্ৰতিষ্ঠিত আছিল। সমাজত এক অস্থিৰতাৰ পৰিৱেশ সৃষ্টি কৰিলে। তাৰোপৰি আমি দেখা পালো যে তেখেতে এই গোটেই ক্ৰিমিনেল কনস্পিৰেচিটো কৰিছিলে এক্সটৰ্শন কৰিবৰ কাৰণে।
The opposition united on this issue alleges Himanta Biswa Sharma government of shooting the messenger.
We want that police should not kill the messenger. If there is corruption, it should be properly inquired. So that is what we also demand.
Victor Das complained against corruption only, and he was thrown to jail in such sections that is related to communal class. The government of Assam is actually destroying all the democratic system.
लेकिन कंप्लेनर को गिरफ्तार करने का मतलब क्या है? घोटाला को सरकार सपोर्ट करना चाहती है क्या? तो उनको तुरंत छोड़ना चाहिए विक्टर दास को।
While the Congress has marched to the Raj Bhavan on this issue, TMC has taken to the streets in protest. In Guwahati, Ratndeep Chaudhary for NDTV.
And now moving on to Hyderabad, where 8 people were killed and 11 were injured after a suspected short circuit in an electric vehicles showroom, atop which a hotel was located in Telangana's Secunderabad. All victims were from outside the state.
Worst nightmare for guests at a Secunderabad hotel on Monday night. As smoke following a suspected short circuit in the basement engulfed the upper floors. Those who tried to run out fell unconscious. Few others tried to jump to safety. Crane ladders rescued some others.
There are 4 floors of the lodge which have 23 rooms. The entire smoke which has come out has spread through the staircase into the other floors.
The authorities suspect charging of electric vehicles kept in the basement caused the accident.
काफी गाड़ियां नीचे रखी हुई है. मैं समझता हूँ अभी भी 30-35 गाड़ी रखे हुए. हमको ऐसा अंदाजा रखा है कि वो बैटरी चार्जिंग जो लगाई गई उसमें किसी वजह से ज्यादा लोड होने से शॉर्ट सर्किट होगा. वो बैटरी जल गई. उसका धुआं आग से ज्यादा कोई नुकसान नहीं हुआ. धुएं से जान चलेगी लोगों की. उसका बहुत दुख है हमें.
In this multi-story building that had the hotel on top and the showroom and the basement as well, the basement was being used in fact as a godown, and that's why other than the electric vehicles whose charging may have caused the fire, there are also 5 gas cylinders and also batteries that may have also emitted smoke. It is the smoke and not the flames that seem to have caused the major disaster and the deaths. The police are now investigating what went wrong that turned the building into a death trap.
There are firefighting equipments in the building, but the sprinklers are also there. But sprinklers will work only when the temperature goes beyond a certain point. Because there was no fire on the upper floors and only smoke was there, so sprinklers naturally they won't work. And there is only one staircase, and the smoke travels through the staircase.
A case has been registered against the owner of the electric scooter showroom and the manager of the hotel. In Hyderabad, with camera person Nagraju, Uma Sudhir, NDTV.
Senior lawyer Mukul Rohatgi will return as the Attorney General of India, the government's top lawyer as per sources. Mukul Rohatgi, who is 67 years old, stepped down as the Attorney General in June 2017. KK Venugopal took over after him. Mr. Venugopal's extended tenure ends on 30th September. 91-year-old KK Venugopal will step down on September 30th. Let's tell you something about the former Attorney General Mukul Rohatgi. He served as the Attorney General from 2014 to 2017. He represented the Gujarat government in the 2002 riots cases. As the AG, Rohatgi defended BJP government in Triple Talaq, Aadhaar case and the NJAC case. Rohatgi also went back to private practice from 2017 to 2022. He was the special public prosecutor in Judge Lawyer's death case. He also appeared against the BJP government in the PMLA case in 2021, and he represented Aryan Khan in a narcotics case before the Bombay High Court. Mining conglomerate Vedanta and Taiwanese electronics manufacturing giant Foxconn will invest 1.5 lakh crore rupees to set up India's first semiconductor production plant in pole-bound Gujarat. Not only will this bring jobs to the state, it could also insulate India from a heavy import dependency for semiconductors. A 1.5 lakh crore semiconductor plant project coming up in Gujarat, which goes to elections soon. Oil to metals firm Vedanta signed a deal with Foxconn in the presence of Gujarat Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel and Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnav. Vedanta says the project will create 1 lakh direct jobs with production starting in 2 years. If that happens, it will be India's first display semiconductor manufacturing plant. It aims to reduce India's semiconductor import dependency.
आज पूरी दुनिया में एक ही चीज का नाम होता था सिलिकॉन वैली, सिलिकॉन वैली, सिलिकॉन वैली, और वो बाय एंड लार्ज इंडियन से डोमिनेटेड है। सबसे बड़ी बात तो अपने यंगस्टर को बोलना चाहता हूं कि आप जॉब मांगना बंद कर दें, आप जॉब देना चालू करें। कि गुजरात ही एक ऐसा जगह है जिसने सिलिकॉन पॉलिसी सबसे पहले निकाली।
In a close race, Gujarat beat Maharashtra to be chosen for the plant. Vedanta's shares gained 2.7% after the announcement. According to the government's data, India's semiconductor needs of around 1.1 lakh crore are currently being met through imports due to an absence of commercial producers in India. These chips are building blocks for many electronic devices ranging from smartphones to modern cars. Global shortage of semiconductors after the pandemic caused long waiting periods for cars that we're still seeing. This plant aims to be a step towards reducing India's import dependency. We'll see how much of that gets realized in just a few years. Priyanshi Sharma for NDTV. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be in Uzbekistan on September 15th and 16th to attend the Shanghai Cooperation Organization or the SCO summit. The Chinese President Xi Jinping and Russia's Vladimir Putin will also attend the summit. It will be the first PM Modi and Xi Jinping will come face to face since 2019. The India and China complete disengagement in Ladakh's hot springs region as per sources, and NDTV's Maha Siddiqui reports from Uzbekistan.
I have with me India's ambassador to Uzbekistan, Manish Prabhat. Many thanks for speaking with NDTV. First of all, I want to ask you about the message that will be sent out from this SCO summit. It's happening in person after a period of pandemic, big leaders coming here, and especially in the current geopolitical situation that we are seeing.
Yes, you are correct. The summit has generated a lot of excitement, and leaders of 15 countries are gathering in Samarkand. Of course, there's a lot of excitement that Prime Minister of India is coming. We are very happy that Prime Minister is visiting Samarkand. His last visit to Uzbekistan was in 2016. Of course, SU summit is very important for us. It is important for all the entire world, so as to say. And India is also the incoming chair of SCO. So by Prime Minister's coming in person to attend the summit, despite all his preoccupations which may be, there's a big message that India attaches a lot of importance to the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. And as the incoming chair, India would work and contribute positively to the positive expansion of SCO agenda. India and Uzbekistan are strategic partners. So, of course, there is a desire on part of India and Uzbekistan to expand our partnership in all possible fields, political relations, economy, trade and investment, defense cooperation, security cooperation, education, humanitarian exchanges. Afghanistan is of course very important because both India and Uzbekistan are important stakeholders in peace and stability in Afghanistan.
The Russian military said that it had launched a massive strike on all front lines of Ukraine after Kyiv's forces made dramatic advances in a counter-offensive, reclaiming 6,000 square kilometers of territory from Russia. Here's a report.
In Ukraine, over 20 settlements have been freed in 24 hours. The Ukrainian military claims, as Kyiv's forces have captured territory at least twice the size of Greater London. But Zelensky has hit out at the ongoing targeted Russian strikes on power facilities across Ukraine and called on the West to speed up deliveries of weapons systems.
Наш експорт електрики – це те, чого Росія зараз дуже боїться, бо ми можемо зламати російські плани по спустошенню кишень європейців цієї зими за рахунок шалених енергетичних цін. Маємо ще посилити нашу співпрацю, щоб подолати російський терор. Треба визнати Росію державою-терористом.
This, as Russians continued shelling Nikopol across one of the 10 biggest atomic power plants in the world, damaging several buildings there and leaving Europe's largest nuclear facility in danger. Faced with one of its worst defeats in nearly 7 months of war, the Kremlin insists it would achieve its military goals, and Putin maintained an air of business as usual.
The situation is untenable. We are playing with fire. We cannot continue in a situation when we are one step away from a nuclear accident.
Meanwhile, the Ukrainians believe they've answered important questions. Can they break the stalemate and recapture territory? Yes. Can they use Western weapons effectively? Yes. The result is their most important victory since winning the battle for Kyiv back in March. Parmeshwar Bava for NDTV.
Switching tracks, Britain's King Charles was visibly annoyed and he lost his cool at a leaky pen while he tried to sign a visitor's book in Northern Ireland. He says, "I can't bear this thing and oh God, I hate this thing." Just some proof that it's not just us, but a leaky pen doesn't spare the royalty too.
Oh God, I hate this. Oh look, it's going everywhere. Hang on. Has anybody got a Where is that? Oh look, it's everywhere. Can't bear this. What they do, everyone's stinking.
On that note, it's a wrap on this show. Thanks very much for watching.